You don't usually see criminal defendants or their spouses speaking out in the middle of a criminal case. What was the strategy here? Why did she want to do this?
And I've been doing this for 4 decades for celebrities, and I've never done an interview. That was the first interview I've ever agreed to. And the reason why is because the parents, the detective, the assistant district attorney, and the district attorney have been absolutely complicit in a false story being prepared here. And the media, unfortunately, has gone along with it. They focused, as you said, on 30-year-old allegations regarding women, which have absolutely nothing to do with an allegation regarding pubescent boys. And so we felt that in order to get our side of the story out, it was necessary for us to do these sorts of interviews. And I want to say the only outlet that did a really wonderful job, I hate to give him credit because I fight with him all the time, but Harvey Levin of TMZ, along with Mark Garagos, did a wonderful podcast called Two Angry Men, and they went through all the evidence, said it is outrageous that that was ever brought, and that there's no way that they can ever get a conviction.
I want to get back to that in a second. I just want to focus something else on Melissa said. She says, I'm neither naive nor am I complicit. I talked about it, asked them questions about it. What exactly was she told by Busfield, and what's her understanding about those past allegations?
Well, we totally deny the allegations. Tim has made it very clear. But I don't want to spend all my time talking about 35-year-old allegations.
Okay, you want to talk about that? We could talk about the new allegations, because I actually wanted to focus on it.
Sure.
So my question to you is, the prosecution appears to have the accounts of the children, law enforcement, a reported diagnosis of one of the children of PTSD and anxiety as what they claim is a result of Busfield allegedly touching this child. How is Busfield prepared to defend himself against this?
First of all, the children, both children, only one is making an accusation now. Both children were asked by the police at the time, did he ever touch you inappropriately? And if you listen to the tape, because it was played, it's very explicit. Yes, and they say absolutely not. Okay, that's clear. What we do know from the notes is that the father was in the actual therapy session when the son finally said, okay, he touched me. And the father was in the therapy session saying to the son before he said it, if you don't tell them what happened, we will never be able to heal as a family. And we also know from the same notes that the boy said to the therapist, I don't have PTSD. I'm not having nightmares. And the therapist said, well, why does your father say you do? Because I don't want to disappoint my father. I don't want to make him sad or angry. So that's why I haven't said that to him.
So the counter argument to that would be twofold, right? The counter argument to that would be alleged victims of sexual abuse, whether they're children, adults, male, female. Sometimes it's very difficult for them to open up initially. Sometimes it takes years for them to open up. Sometimes they deny it and then they come forward. And here, again, if I'm understanding correctly, we would have to accept that these parents are deliberately coercing or pressuring their children to lie. I mean, they're basically making up, according to you or according to your team, criminal allegations. They're telling them to make up criminal allegations, which would have serious repercussions. I mean, is that what we should be believing, that they're willing to risk all of this?
Absolutely. Look at the parents. You have to know who they are. The father was a lawyer who cheated 1,500 people out of $6 million, spent 3.5 years in jail as a result of it, and lost his license to practice law. The Department of Justice, not me, calls him a scammer. The mother passed bad checks in Las Vegas at the casinos, and she sold cars that she had repossessed.
But is all that going to come into evidence? Is all that going to come into evidence?
Absolutely.
You think all that's going to be relevant and not prejudicial?
Absolutely. It is relevant. And the mother said, clearly we have two witnesses who say that the mother said, I'm going to get my revenge on Tim Busfield. I'll have his ass. So they're either doing this out of revenge or they're doing it for money. You have to kind of look at the chronology, because if you look back, they made these allegations. Warner Brothers did 2 investigations, and one of your guests said that it wasn't a very thorough investigation, repeating what the assistant district attorney said. The truth is they interviewed everybody on the set. There were 12 or 14 people on set. It would be impossible for Tim Busfield to do what they're alleging with all of those people there, because every single one of them said it did not happen.
Okay.
It could not happen.
Larry, before I let you go, you know, Melissa said that in time, Tim's going to tell his side of the story. When's that going to be?
Well, we don't want to spend our time talking about the women, because that's what everybody wants to talk about. Even the judge at the detention hearing, and think about this for a second. The judge at the detention hearing released him on his own recognizance. The DA wanted him to stay in jail the entire time while he's being prosecuted. That would be a year or a year and a half. They never should have filed this in the first place.
All right.
But after filing it, we have a polygraph which he passed, which is admissible in New Mexico.
That's true.
Mark Garagos said that's game over. And secondly, we have a psychosomatic allegation of sexual conduct, and we have a specialist who said he has no interest in prepubescent boys.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to continue to follow this case. We're going to continue to see where it goes. You have an invite to come back on if you want to talk about it. Larry Stein, I appreciate you taking the time.
You've done a great job of covering it, and I appreciate it, and I'll come back anytime you ask.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.